Welcome to Links 007 TV News Report, providing you with the best in local and international news updates. This is a place where you can get the most reliable and informative news information. Links 007 TV News Report. Welcome and thanks for joining us. This is the nightly news for Friday, September 29, 2023. These are the news making the headlines. We begin the news with a developing story. Amoy and Issa, mom of slain 9-year-old, hands over access code to investigators. Investigators assigned to the Cyber Crime Department of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF say they are now in possession of the access code for the cellular phone of Amoy and Issa, mother of 9-year-old Gabrielle King, who was slain in St. James in January 2022. According to the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit, the code was sent to the police via attorney on Friday afternoon following a court order. The Constitutional Court upheld a previous ruling by the parish court that she should hand over the access code. The court had dismissed a claim put forward by Amoy and Issa as she sought to stop a production order for the phone. She had argued that allowing investigators to search her phone by way of production order would be in breach of her privacy rights. However, Friday's ruling said that for investigators into the son's murder, the benefit gained from granting the production order far outweighed the breach of privacy of the claimant. Gabriel was murdered along the Tucker Main Road in St. James on January 13, 2022. Continuing the news. Nurse killed in two-vehicle crash in St. Thomas. A nurse was killed in a two-vehicle accident on the York Main Road in St. Thomas on Friday. The deceased has been identified as 29-year-old Chelsea Angus of Seaford in the parish. Angus was a practical nurse at the St. Thomas Infirmary. Links 007 TV News understand that at around 5:30 p.m., Angus was driving a Toyota Vitz motor car towards Morant Bay when, in the process of overtaking, the vehicle collided with a Mazda pickup traveling in the opposite direction. Angus suffered serious injuries and was rushed to hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. Continuing the news. Cocaine found in bathroom at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay. 16 pellets containing cocaine were found inside a section of the female restroom inside the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James on Thursday. Reports are that sometime around 3 p.m., detectives assigned to the Era Narcotics Division were carrying out an operation inside the facility when the contraband weighing 0.8 kilograms was found. No arrest was made in connection with the seizure. The investigation continues. Continuing the news. Boy badly beaten after stepping on classmate's clocks. A 7th grader of the BB Coke High School is in hospital and his classmate, an older student, in the police custody after the young boy was beaten for accidentally stepping on his clocks. The incident occurred on the school compound in Junction St. Elizabeth after classes were dismissed for the day on Thursday. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Senior Superintendent Coleridge Minto, said that the police are still questioning possible witnesses. He said that the students were at a security post collecting their cellular phones when the youngster accidentally stepped on the other boy's shoes. This led to the student receiving several punches to his face and kick all over his body, which resulted in him receiving severe injuries. He was taken to the Mandeville Regional Hospital for treatment, Minto said. Tamika Honus, aunt of the 14-year-old Jaheim Coleman, says she is most hurt by the security guard not allegedly reporting the matter to the school administration. Consequently, her nephew was rushed to the hospital by friends.
He was collecting his phone and he made a bad step, so he kind of bounced the other little guy and he punched him down. He fell, hit his head, got knocked out, and then he was stepping in his face. Yeah, it's very sad to see that you can send your kids to school and to get a phone call like that. What hurt most of all is that the securities at the gate, they didn't report it to the teachers or the principal. It's Jaheim's friends that had to walk with him, pick him up and walk with him through Junction Town and all that to bring him to Dr. T's. And trust me, that's really sad.
The student in custody is being held under reasonable suspicion of committing an assault, occasional grievous bodily harm, Minto stated. Continuing the news, the police are on the hunt for gunmen after a retired cop and 2 others killed. The St. James police have launched a manhunt for the killers of 3 men, including a retired Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF member, Constable Patrick Hyde, during an attack on the Tuckermain Road on Wednesday afternoon. Hyde reportedly retired from the JCF in January of this year. The 2 other deceased, both of St. James addresses, are 73-year-old Neville Dixon of Rosemount Gardens and 27-year-old laborer Glenroy Morgan of Tucker District. Reports are that sometime around Wednesday afternoon, gunmen traveling in a Voxy motor vehicle opened gunfire on a truck on which Dixon and Morgan were traveling. Both men were shot and killed. During the attack, the retired JCF member was caught by a stray bullet and taken to hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The police investigation continues. Vendor shot in Kingston Craft Market. A vendor was shot during a brazen attack by gunmen in the Craft Market in downtown Kingston on Friday. Reports are that sometime around 3:49 p.m., men posing as customers and armed with handgun went to the market and asked for a woman by her name. Minutes later, explosions were heard. The sounds of the explosions sent vendors clamoring for cover. The police were called, and during a search of the area, the wounded woman was found. Sources have reported that she was shot in the head. The police have since launched an investigation. Continuing the news, 109 additional teachers joined the education system. 109 teachers have joined the education sector over the past 2 weeks. That brings 1,264 the total number of new teachers who have entered the classroom since the start of the new academic year, which began on September the 4th. On September 13th, the figure was 1,155 new teachers. The latest update was provided by the Education and Youth Minister Favour Williams during Wednesday's September 27 post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. On the matter of remuneration, Minister Williams pointed out that the ministry is making every effort to ensure that the teachers hired in the month of September and have submitted all their information are paid during the month of September. In welcoming the new and in-service teachers within the education sector, Williams expressed thanks for their continued commitment to the nation building. Continuing the news, suspected car stealing ring uncovered in Clarendon. The Clarendon police are advising the public to safeguard their motor vehicles as best as possible. This after 2 cars were discovered during an operation in Portland Cottage community in the parish on Tuesday. One of the vehicles, a Toyota Axio motor car, was scrapped while a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado was found covered in bushes. Clinton Green, Deputy Superintendent in charge of the Criminal Investigation in Clarendon Division, said that one of the vehicles found was reported stolen by its owner. On Tuesday, September 26 at around 3 p.m., a team of police officers ventured into bushes in the Portland Cottage community whilst conducting an investigation into stolen vehicles. The police found 1 scrap Toyota Axio motor car and 1 Land Cruiser Prado covered in bushes without registration plate affixed. He said the vehicles are subject to continued investigation. Continuing the news, suspect in the murder of rap sensation Tupac finally arrested after 27 years. A man has been arrested over the murder of the rapper Tupac Shakur, who was shot and killed in 1996. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested early on Friday morning, according to the Associated Press, who cited 2 unarmed officials with first-hand knowledge of the arrest. However, the exact charge or charges were not immediately clear, with a formal indictment expected later on Friday. The arrest represents a long-awaited break in the case that has frustrated investigators and fascinated the general public ever since the hip-hop star was killed on Las Vegas Strip 27 years ago. Born in New York City, Tupac became one of the leading figures in the West Coast hip-hop scene, with hits include California Love and Dear Mama. Known by his stage name Tupac, he was nominated for a Grammy 6 times and is widely considered to be one of the most influential rappers of all time. He was killed on the night of September 7, 1996, while in a black BMW being driven by Death Row Records founder Marion Knight. They were waiting in a convoy of about 6 cars at a red light. a block from Las Vegas Strip, when a white Cadillac pulled up next to them and gunfire erupted. Tupac died after being shot multiple times. He was age 25 at the time. The shooting unfolded shortly after a casino brawl earlier in the evening between Orlando Anderson, Tupac and their associates. There were many eyewitnesses, but the investigators quickly stalled, in part because those witnesses refused to cooperate, Las Vegas police said in the past. There have never been an arrest on the case, yet attention on the case has endured for decades. The man arrested on Friday, Mr. Davis, is the uncle of Mr. Anderson, one of Tupac's known rivals, who authorities have long suspected in the rapper's death. Mr. Anderson denied any involvement in Shakur's killing at the time and died 2 years later in an unrelated gang shooting. In July, police searched a property with public records including voting records linked to the wife of Mr. Davis. At the time, the police confirmed that officers had served a search warrant in Henderson, a city near Las Vegas. However, the department did not release any other details, including where the officers were searching and whether they expect to make an arrest. This has been Links 007 TV News Report. Thanks for watching.